As the first golden rays of dawn pierce the mist-shrouded vastness of the Serengeti, a battle-scarred lioness named Serafina, immortalized in the Serengeti Lion Project's 30-year tracking data, stands rigid as stone over her 3 fluffy cubs. Her tawny fur, etched with deep gashes from past skirmishes, ripples with coiled power under the rising sun. These cubs, barely 8 weeks old, represent her entire legacy. One misstep, and the pride's future crumbles. But why risk it all now, when the rest of her pride hunts miles away, scattered by the dry season's harsh grip? A bone-chilling cackle slices through the morning hush like demonic laughter echoing from the underworld. Whooping hyenas emerge from the tall, sun-bleached grass. Often painted as cowardly scavengers in wildlife lore, these spotted clan hunters are far deadlier, matriarch-led packs that dominate 60% of kills in lean times, according to Dr. Laura Smale's pioneering Amboseli Hyena Project research published in the Journal of Zoology. Their eyes, glowing like embers, lock onto the cubs, not with mindless hunger, but calculated opportunism. Hyena clans, with their rigid female hierarchies, target lion nurseries to weaken rival prides for generations. Question: can Serafina's raw maternal fury hold back a tidal wave of 20 jaws? Tension coils tighter than a spring as the hyenas fan out in a classic mobbing formation, their ragged ears twitching, low growls building to frenzied whoops. Serafina doesn't flee, she explodes forward in a thunderous charge, her earth-shattering roar a guttural symphony of rage, scattering the outer ring like leaves in a gale. But the core pack holds firm, their massive heads swinging low, jaws gnashing mere inches from her heels. From the hyena's cunning perspective, this is pure survival arithmetic. Their own cub mortality skyrockets past 80% in droughts, per WWF conservation reports, forcing desperate raids on anything vulnerable. They probe her flanks, test her resolve, forcing Serafina into hit-and-run feints that buy precious seconds. The standoff drags into agonizing minutes, the sun climbing higher, baking the earth. Serafina herds her cubs toward a jagged rocky outcrop, a natural fortress. But each step is a deadly gamble. A bold young hyena lunges, teeth flashing toward a cub's throat. Serafina pivots like lightning, slamming it back with a paw swipe that echoes like a thunderclap. Distant roars rumble on the horizon, pride males stirring? Or a fatal illusion? From the cub's terrified eyes, this world is chaos, mom's shadow their only shield. Hyenas surge again, a whirlwind of dust and snapping teeth, but Serafina's strategy shines. Using boulders as barricades, she turns defense into a gauntlet. Finally, thunderous pawbeats herald the male's arrival, coal-black manes bristling as they crash the fray, sending the clan fleeing into the haze. Serafina collapses beside her panting cubs, chest heaving, new scars weeping red. Victory tastes of blood and exhaustion. But what hidden price lingers? In the Serengeti ecosystem, lions like her regulate hyena numbers, preventing unchecked herbivore decline. One loss here ripples outward, starving scavengers and unbalancing the plains. Family isn't sentiment, it's the savannah's spine. Deep in the labyrinthine floodplains of Botswana's Okavango Delta, where seasonal waters carve a shimmering mosaic of life, a pack of 12 painted wolves bursts from reed beds at dawn like arrows loosed from a bow. Their patchwork coats, black, tan, and gold gleam like living artworks against dew-kissed grasses, a visual symphony of evolution's artistry. Led by the alpha female, swollen with unborn pups, they surge toward a distant impala herd, every stride synchronized in deadly harmony. African wild dogs boast an astonishing 80% hunt success rate, unmatched among carnivores, thanks to flawless pack teamwork, reveals long-term data from the Botswana Predator Conservation Trust. But paradise fractures in an instant. Midway through the stalk, the beta female leaner, faster, eyes burning with ambition, nips viciously at the alpha's heels, shattering the formation. Why betray now, when the kill dangles like ripe fruit? Packs splinter 40% of the time over exclusive breeding rights, as detailed in a 2024 Journal of Mammalogy study tracking 50 delta clans. The impala bolts free, sensing chaos, as infighting erupts, high-pitched yips turn to guttural snarls, dust billows like smoke from a battlefield. The alpha wheels, clamping jaws on the challenger's shoulder in a vice of dominance. But the wounds fester, blood staining her mosaic fur. From the back at the den, the pup's perspective is pure nightmare, orphan yips echo unanswered, starvation's shadow lengthening. Subordinates circle warily, loyalty or opportunity? Ecological dominoes tumble. Weekend hunts mean unchecked impala populations overgrazing vital grasses, choking the delta's herbivores and birds. Rival packs send blood on the wind, tension peaks as shadowy forms approach. Does the alpha rally with desperate whoops, forging forgiveness from fury? The beta slinks into exile, a lone ghost on the horizon, but one subordinate hesitates, eyes flickering with doubt. In a final, pulse-pounding standoff, unity clings by threads, the pack scatters an intruder, but fractures linger like cracks in porcelain. This betrayal isn't chaos, it's evolution's gamble. Stronger alphas birth healthier pups, sustaining Africa's apex predators. Wild dogs shape floodplains, culling weak prey to keep herds robust. Plunge into the churning, slate-gray Pacific waves off Vancouver Island's rugged shores, where resident orca pods glide like black and white specters beneath foaming crests. This matriarchal clan, eavesdropped on by Orca Lab's hydrophones for over 50 years, pursues teeming salmon runs with surgical precision. Echoes of harmony mask deep fissures. Even the ocean's tightest families split amid prey crashes, ripping mothers from grown offspring, warns pioneering researcher Dr. Paul Spong in his acoustic chronicles. At the hunt's heart, a massive 15-year-old bull orca dorsal fin scarred from ice clashes challenges his aging mother's lead. Seals evade as styles collide, his explosive breaches shattering waves versus her patient flanking ambushes. NOAA Fisheries data reveals 30% of adults disperse in scarcity years, passing epic hunting lore orally across generations like ancient sagas. Question: whose wisdom endures in famine's grip? The bull peels away, trailing conflicted sisters, echolocation pings, nature's sonar language fracture into echoing silence. From the calve's submerged realm, confusion pulses like a lost heartbeat, fragmented signals spell vulnerability amid sharks. A landmark 2025 marine mammal science paper underscores. Dispersal fuels genetic diversity but condemns loners to starvation odds of 70%. Storm winds howl, prey scatters in whitecaps, tension drowns all. The matriarch spy hops, wise-eye scanning horizons, the bull lurks in distant kelp forests, hunger gnawing. Reunion flickers in shared calls bridging the abyss, but doubt's shadow looms. Orcas orchestrate marine symphonies, culling salmon prevents overfishing, sustaining sea lions, eagles, and plankton webs. Fractured pods unleash chaos. Exploding seal herds devouring fisheries. In the abyss, family is echo, pulse, unbreakable sonar. Alaska's Katmai National Park rivers roar at peak salmon run, foaming red with thrashing silver bodies that draw 20 hulking grizzlies into a frenzied harvest. A fierce sow rears twin cubs, her claws longer than human fingers, flashing like golden scythes through the spray. But a nomadic boar, twice her mass with shoulders like boulders, muscles into her prime fishing station. Grizzly's master bluff charges and posturing to claim territories, conserving vital energy for 6-month hibernations, detail U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service bear cams from Katmai. Bluffs ignite, she rears bipedally, lips peeling back in a deafening roar that vibrates the water, he counters with seismic stumps, sending fish leaping in panic. Cubs scatter into icy shallows, heart-stopping exposure to currents. Logs show 60% of clashes end in retreats, dodging fatal wounds that doom winters. From the boar's solitary calculus, it's grim math, injury means frozen death. Question: fury or flight? They collide in a maelstrom, fur matted, claws raking deep gashes, jaws clamping scruffs amid foaming chaos. She drives him back with trunk-like swings, reclaiming her salmon piles, but limps from a shoulder tear. Ripples cascade, her dragged carcasses fertilize alder forests, nourishing berries for birds, roots for martens. The boar slinks upstream, pride shattered. Cubs nuzzle close, sharing bloody bounty under rainbow's arcing falls. Solitude triumphs, but scars whisper future frailty. Grizzlies engineer Alaska's wilds, salmon nutrients pulse through trees, sustaining chains from eagles to soil. One upset echoes eternally. Jane Goodall's Gomstream National Park in Tanzania hides chimp troops in its emerald, vine-choked canopy, patrolling borders like feudal warlords. Alpha Figan, legend of Goodall's 60-year saga. Strides with swagger, face scarred from dominance duels. Chimpanzees forge lethal coalitions akin to mafia enforcers, with raid mortality striking 50%, Goodall chronicles in her 2024 GOM memoir update. In this primate power game, who's expendable?
Scouts hoot border warnings along scent-marked vines, tension erupts in ambush pandemonium.
Screams rend the humid air, branches whip as 15 rivals charge, sticks wielded as clubs, canines ripping flesh in sprays of red. A subordinate defects mid-fray, turning on old allies with opportunistic stabs, treachery echoing humanity's darkest betrayals. Why flip when grooming bonds seemed eternal? Goodall's datasets pinpoint power vacuums igniting 70% of wars, reshaping troops yearly. From distant females' groves, hoots signal frantic retreats, infants cling wide-eyed to fur. Question, glory or graveyard? Figgins' alliance prevails, claiming enemy fruit groves, but ranks thin perilously. Patrols sculpt forests. Winners monopolize figs and nuts, losers starve amid booms of unchecked colobus monkeys stripping leaves. Chimp wars mirror our souls, savagery ensues, alliances forged in blood. Namibia's Etosha Pan shimmers at dusk as a massive herd thunders across cracked clay, led by GPS-collared matriarch Gaia of the Save the Elephants project. Thundering feet mask peril, a musk-drenched rogue bull, testosterone surging like fire, charges the flanks with ivory gleaming. Must bulls slaughter 10% of adult females annually in peak rut, warns Elephant Voices founder Dr. Joyce Poole in her behavioral tomes. Dust chokes the air like battlefield fog, trumpets blare seismic defiance. Gaia wheels the herd into an impenetrable phalanx, calves shielded inward, tusks fan outward like fortress walls. From the bull's hormone-fogged haze, its primal imperative, rivals reek of weakness. Poole's observations confirm matriarchs evade 85% via clever feints and terrain mastery. Tension detonates, he gores a lagging cow, trunk flailing, but Gaia counters with earth-shaking trunk slams and coordinated stumps. Herd surges free across the pan, bull collapsing in exhausted heaps. Scars bind them tighter, blood kin, unbreakable. Elephants architect savannas, dung seeds acacias, paths channel floods into life-giving streams. One breach unravels it all. Antarctica's Weddell sea ice shelves groan under 50 miles per hour gales as emperor penguin colonies huddle in living fortresses, males balancing precious eggs on feet through endless night. A gaunt thief penguin sidles through ranks, beak darting like a pickpocket. Colony egg raids explode in starvation peaks, claiming 20% losses, log British Antarctic Survey field journals. Huddles fracture in pandemonium, defenders lunge in beak fencing frays, flippers slapping ice. The rightful owner dives through the mass, slipping, shoving, desperation incarnate. From the thief's barren crop, famine screams justification. Tension, egg teeters free into lethal cold? Heroic reclaim amid exhaustion, weaklings succumb to winds. Penguins calibrate krill hordes, raids boom populations, crashing food webs. Family's fragile perch holds, for now. Yellowstone's Lamar Valley lies blanketed in snow as Alpha Black, reintroduced icon of the NPS Wolf Project, howls dominion. Invaders howl back, takeover erupts at dawn. Pack usurpers slaughter 30% of betas to cement rule, report Project Biologics. Ambush shatters silence, females clash over dens and throat-ripping grapples, pups huddling in terror. Loyalties waver mid-snow, submission or slaughter? New alpha reigns bloodied, reshaping elk trails, riverside willows rebound, sheltering beavers and birds. Balance reborn in carnage. From Serengeti's dust devils to Antarctic blizzards, these clashes aren't random. They're Earth's forge. Lions call hyenas, wolves revive rivers, elephants seed futures, each drop of blood pulses through webs sustaining us all. As Jane Goodall reflects, in wild hearts beats survival's unyielding truth. What battles rage in your world? Join nature's guardians, protect the fury that feeds life. The wild endures, fierce, familial, forever.